In 1968, Peter Hudson became the first VFL player since John Coleman, 26 years earlier, to kick 100 goals in a league season. He broke Jack Green's club record of 80, set in 1934, and his final tally of 125 had only ever been bettered by Bob Pratt. He would win the Hawks Best and Fairest and achieve superstar status in Melbourne. Again, Hawthorn would miss the finals, but up 4 places from 10th to 6th.
And there's the very famous one of the sign, which apparently really happened out at Hawthorn, where the Hawthorn church had, "What would you do if Christ came to Hawthorn?" And the fellow wrote underneath, "Shift Peter Hudson to centre half forward."
A high floating punt kick. It'll be a difficult one to mark. Merrington flew the ball onto the ground now. Hudson chipping in. Sandy Lancea also as Hudson swings round 50 yards out. Hooks it over its shoulder. It's going goalwards. It's good enough for his height. Yes, it's right through.
At Hawthorn I could see a future. Not an immediate future, but I could see the players there to win a grand final. Players such as Peter Crimmins and Bob Keddy and Des Maher and co. And they were all players that made up the backbone of the Hawthorn side that won the premiership in 1971. So that hunch paid off.
For the second straight season, Hudson topped 100. His 120 not enough to budge Doug Wade from the goal-kicking title. But at the Interstate Carnival, he joined teammate Bob Keddy as Hawthorn's first All-Australian representatives.
Directly in front, kicking to the Richmond goal. No doubt. No doubt in the world.
For the third time in the 60s, they would finish just outside the top 4 in 5th spot. In 1970, Hudson kicked 100 goals for the 3rd year in a row. In round 16 at Waverley, he brought the crowd to its feet and inevitably onto the grounds as he kicked 11 for the day. By season's end, he would have kicked 146. Only Pratt's 150 in 1934 stood ahead of him. Hawthorn won 19 matches, finished on top of the ladder for the 3rd time in 11 seasons, and lost to Footscray Carlton and Richmond. Hudson played all 22 home and away matches, kicked double figures 3 times, and going into the finals had 140 goals.
But it's through. There's his second. And there's a good mark to Heath. Heath gets to the crosshair to Crimmins. Crimmins a left foot snap across. Up they go. It's Hudson. He'll put it through. Or does he? Yes.
The talk in the lead-up to the 1971 grand final centred firmly on Hudson. For the 4th time that season, Hawthorn would play St Kilda. Hudson needing only 3 goals to equal Pratt's record. He'd kick his first within minutes of the opening bounce.
He would be, from that angle, some 45 to 50 yards away from the big sticks, kicking down to the Richmond end. The rain coming down now at the MCG. Peter Hudson, 4 goals to go to break the record, but more important, kicking Hawthorn towards a premiership. The kick's on its way. It's a beautiful kick. He's put it through. He's put it through. Through came Murray there. The ball knocked away. Looks like Murray's in a bit of trouble. They go through. Hudson's bowled over, and Hudson's hurt.
Close play, and it's going to be hard to kick goals quickly and score in a free manner.
Hawthorn now going forward down towards Hudson. Oh, a bit lucky to get out of that St Kilda. Hudson got it in the back, but he kicks down and he kicks through. There's his second. A fantastic recovery. Up they go in the centre. The ball knocked away. It's going up into Hawthorn's territory. They're almost taken by Heath. I'm about to say taken, but he didn't get it cleanly. Kicked by Maher. Out comes Hudson. Oh, in the back. In the back, there is no shadow of doubt. 149 goals up. He is 20 yards out on a slight angle. 149 goals up, kicking to the scoreboard end. He kicks. 150
Towards the goal square. It's going over the top of his
How he must feel. Oh, he's no more than 8 yards out. He should kick it. Up he comes. He kicks. Oh! Taken by Matthews. Matthews a hand pass to Hudson. Hudson going for a run. He steadies. He kicks. Oh my God, he's missed it. Oh, look at him.
The 1972 season would start dramatically. The Hawks at home to Melbourne in round 1 at Glenferrie. Hudson on fire with 8 first-half goals. Then, the unthinkable. The great champion was slung by Melbourne forward-turned defender Barry Burke. His knee twisted and his career came to a shuddering halt.
You get very hard when you're coaching and you just think, well, there he is, he's gone down, and but we're going on. I mean, there'll be someone to take his place and all that. But I did feel for Peter because he was such a gifted player, and it's a bit sad when that happens, really.
I think from a team point of view, because of the way that Hawthorn set up in those days, that Hudson wanted everybody up the ground, and he, in a one-out situation with his opponent, really upset the team when he did leave the club, because then the team had to find another forward, and it's very hard to find a forward of his ability.
In the second last home and away match of that season, Peter Hudson made his much heralded return after missing 41 matches. With Michael Moncrief suspended, Hudson agreed to a lightning fitness campaign. He flew into Waverley by helicopter, kicked 8 of 13 in a losing side against Collingwood, and after 17 months on the sidelines showed he'd lost none of his superstar status. Without him, the Hawks would miss the finals for the second straight year by 1 win.
Hudson is moving around. He kicks. Oh, my God, he's put it through.
Ball back in towards the goal square. There's Hudson waiting for it, and Hudson's taken the mark.
Oh, he's a freak.
Hudson judging that ball to perfection.
Hudson is only about 20 metres out. Look at the concentration. He kicks, and he's put it right through. It's his goal. Maher plays on immediately, down into the forward zone. Hudson's in that lot from behind. The ball comes there. Hudson picks it up, he kicks it. Oh, an impossible goal.
Southby often plays, Mike. Adamson taking a line from that. A great mark by McCarthy. McCarthy goes on with a hand pass to Hudson. Hudson swings it round. Puts it through again.
Crimmins goes across, he's looking for Hudson. Hudson there, and he's marked. He used his body beautifully. How do you feel, Peter? How did you pull up?
Pretty sore, and disappointed, with the result, but I think on the day the best team won.
Where are you sore? The old injury, is that sore?
I don't know whether it's so much the old injury, but my knee's sore, but then again, this is probably to be expected, but I did hurt it in the first quarter, right at the start of the first quarter.
In 1977, 31-year-old Peter Hudson returned to Hawthorn for one last season. For the 4th time, he would top the league goal-kicking, and for the 5th time, he would kick 100 goals in a season. The first man to do so in league history.
Looks good, or was it 1 point? That's a goal.
We obviously missed him. I mean, he was such a good player. I mean, he was such a good player that when 72-73, when we struggled a bit, and 74 we reached the preliminary final, 75 the grand final, you would have thought you had to have been a better side with him. When he came back, of course, he wasn't as good as he was prior to his knee injury, but he was still good enough to kick 110 goals.